Peace and love. Welcome. My name is Jewel. Let's do a Lenormand reading for mid-January as we head into the new year for the air signs, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius as we head into the middle of the month and as we're moving into February. Messages for Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Thank you, Spirit. Whenever you come across this reading, there might be some messages in here for you. My readings are always somewhat timeless. So if you see them, just take a listen. All right, let's see. All right. So we have the dog. We have the book. We have the fish. We have the child. We have the lilies. And we have the birds, our messengers here. Let's see on the bottom. We have the woman. So this could be your energy or someone you're dealing with. We have the sun energy here. So illumination, brighter days ahead, good health, vitality. Underneath that, we have the stars. So ultimately a success on something we're working on, or we're being guided and we're moving in the right direction with the star energy. The tower underneath it. So there's an energy of protection here as well for us. Give me one moment as I just take a quick peek. All right. So, Spirit is saying that for once, anytime we look at this, we see the dog, it always makes me think of loyalty. And I have my tea with me. My voice might crack a little bit because I'm getting over a cold. We always want to think about being loyal to the self, being loyal to who we are, being loyal to our own inner wisdom here with the book, because the dog is looking at this book here, right? If we're loyal to our inner wisdom, to our knowledge, what we know, what we believe in our hearts, what's true, the Spirit says we'll be allowed to flow and move forward freely here with the fish. This is the energy of abundance coming in, right? Underneath this here, we're also being told to be loyal to a new beginning, all right? Letting some new energy come into our lives. If we allow those things to come into our lives, it's going to bring about peace here with the lilies. There can be some messages coming in about money this week, or when you come across this message, or ways to make money. The idea of maybe thinking about the Ace of Pentacles is, I get that energy where messages can come in through spirit always, because that's what I deal with on this channel. But in a physical means, a message can come in about a way to bring about some more cash, or a venture that can bring more money into your life moving forward with the venture here. We have two elements of movement here. I know with Lenormand, people generally just read the actual, the card, the one photo, the one picture in the card, but I read intuitively, so I read those as well as other things that stand out to me. So I'm not a traditional Lenormand reader, but I do love these cards. But we have elements of movement here. We have elements of movement here with the boats, or these two canoes made from a natural material. We also have the ring here with the child that's showing movement as well. So there will be some movement on something that you're working on here. We have this person in the middle, they're crafting something. So this is the book that's being written here. So whatever you're working on, your creative project, your idea, it could be anything. Spirit is saying that there's going to be some movement in it. Have trust in it here. Have peace or have trust in it with the lilies. Let's get a few more. Be loyal and loving to your childlike spirit. All right. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams. Believe that things can come true. All right. Going back to that moment of innocence where you didn't have a lot of self-doubt in your ideas, in your vision. Spirit is also saying to not be afraid of going it alone here. So sometimes removing yourself from situations and creating something on your own, moving in a new direction. That's also out here. All right. So we have the moon here. So the idea of the moon in Lenormand deals with success, all right, recognition, things like that. So moving towards recognition in a position of leadership here with this masculine energy on the table. But also the moon deals with following your intuition, allowing yourself to be guided, allowing change to come into your life here with the stork energy. When we read cards, the energy is here for us to grab, right? But we also have to be brave enough to move towards it. Also, with the moon, the energy or the cycles of the moon, not necessarily seeing it or being clear on the direction, but allowing your intuition and your guidance to pull you through and move you forward with the ship, right? Into leadership, into a powerful position for yourself. Spirit is saying you have to trust who you are with that dark energy, being loyal, making sure you have people around you as well, who embody a optimistic type of energy with this child underneath the dog. All right. And if you don't have those type of people around you, at least try to embody that energy within yourself. That energy of pure optimism. Spirit is also saying to be at peace with your story. So maybe things haven't been exactly the way you wanted to, you wanted them to be. Maybe you haven't seen the progress. You're moving in the direction. You're moving towards that. Because we can see it here with all the movement out here and with the fish. And you want to make sure that you're listening to your guidance, your inner guidance as well. But Spirit is saying you're moving towards that. You might not see exactly what you want at this moment, but to trust in your story, to know that where you are at this moment is exactly where you need to be, because that's what's written here. All right. So we have the Eight of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Five of Wands. All right, and underneath that, we have Judgment. So there's something powerful happening in your life right now. There's a major change that's occurring. Spirit is saying, please be aware of the messages that are coming in, physical realm as well as the spiritual realm. Be ready for changes. We see it out here. Be ready for movement. Be ready for things to open up in your life. If you're willing to allow that to happen, if you have faith that can happen. All right, so moving away, when we saw that earlier, going it alone, walking away from a situation that could have caused harm in the past, that shows no fulfillment, not being emotionally fulfilled with the Eight of Cups, moving into a new destiny, moving into a new chapter, moving into a new vision for yourself. A one that will bring about peace here with the Four of Swords. We also have the lilies out here. An end to this energy of strife where you're having to fight your way through certain situations, dealing with negative people, pushing your way through doors that you're not supposed to go through, trying to bust your way into situations that aren't meant for you. This is all the Five of Swords energy, dealing with chaotic energy. All right, so moving away from that, with the Eight of Cups, moving into a new reality here. Spirit is saying you have to put the work in. Whatever you have decided that you wanted to do, whatever you're working on, whatever your desires are, whatever you want to create, even if you're not talking about creating a project or anything like that, physical, but creating the life that you want, you have to start putting that work in, right? But you have to be balanced in order to know it. You can't be in that chaotic energy of the Five of Wands where you're dealing with everybody else's demands and you're not focusing in on yourself. So the Temperance card will remind us to make sure that we're nurturing our inner selves and our outer selves. Self-sufficiency and acceptance. So like we said earlier, Spirit is saying you are protected. Like we were saying earlier, accepting your story where it is right now, not saying that things won't change. Things will change because we see movement out here on the table for us. We see the ships. We see the ring here. So there's movement, right? But we have to be loyal to ourselves and to our vision and to the idea of wanting a new beginning. We have to accept ourselves right now for who we are and understand that the story that we're experiencing right now is a part of it all. So we have to go through this process, even if things take a little bit more time. All right. We're moving towards self-sufficiency. The ancestors. Pre-night for me is always an ancestral energy with that stone. The ancestors want us to be self-sufficient, where we aren't relying heavily on others and dealing with this chaotic energy of the Five of Wands. All right, where we can find peace with the lilies and the Four of Swords. I'm going to pull a gods, and guardians oracle just to see what energy they have for us. All right, Spirit. How can we move out of this Five of Wands energy where we're dealing with the demands of others and we're not really giving ourselves time to focus in on what we need to do to usher in this new way of living, this new beginning, this lighter energy, this childlike spirit? Sacred contracts. All right, so it goes back to, well, and also eternal love, making sure that you're loving yourself first and foremost. All right, you're loving yourself, you're loving your spirit, you're loving your ancestors, you're loving those energies that are going to help to propel you forward. But sacred contracts here, we talked about earlier being loyal to your story, being loyal to what's been written here with the book. This is a contract that's been written. And so knowing that writing a book takes time, it's not a quick process. It shouldn't be if it's anything of quality. So we realize that things take time, but Spirit is saying to honor the contract that you have with yourself. How do we do that? We know who we are deep down inside. We know what we want for our lives. We know what brings us happiness and joy. We know what also brings us strife with this Five of Wands. How can we move away from that strife? And how can we move more into the wholeness of the self with the Temperance energy, where we're able to balance the inner and the outer world, right? And so that's actually the sacred contract, the one we have with the Creator, of course, but the one that we have with the selves, who we are, inner and outer, bringing those two things together to create the life that we want, where we can have this energy of a lighthearted spiritual manifestation. Things are coming to us easily. Things are flowing beautifully, where we don't have to struggle and fight with others, right? We have to accept who we are with the pink opal. We have to be loving because this is a heart chakra. Both of these cards out here deal with the heart chakra. Loving the self, being gentle with the self as you're going through things, not moving as fast as you want them to, knowing that things have been written, right? And so that you're following the contract as long as you're being loving and kind and knowing what you need for your own growth, for your own survival, for your own protection, for your own healing, and for your own journey, right? All right. Well, we'll be back for February to kind of see where we are. If you found anything in this reading that's been helpful to you, please consider subscribing. Definitely like it so that other people may view it. This is a part of my journey too. I'm an air sign. And so these channels, I have two channels, guys. They barely move. But I still get on here and I do this work for spirit. I do it for my ancestral team. I do it for me because I find lots of healing in these readings as well. But if you find anything in here that's helpful to you, please consider sharing some reciprocal energy where we both give to each other and consider hitting the like bell. All right, take care. Peace.